introduce ourselves, and I'll talk a little bit about the organization so y'all know who we are and where we're coming from. And then we can just dive right into it. Can everybody see that agenda up there? Alright, so my name is Noah. I'm with the community group Somos. We are Logan Square. Yeah, that's who I am. I've lived in this neighborhood 5 years. Like Logan Square, a little bit further north. Yeah, do you want to introduce yourself, guys?
Titi Maggie, introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Dalia Torres, alias Maggie.
Titi Maggie.
Titi Maggie. I've lived here 8 years.
Okay.
That's it?
That's okay. We'll talk about everything else moving forward, just so we all know each other's names.
Hi, I'm Jan.
8 years.
Okay.
That's it?
That's okay. We'll talk about everything else moving forward, just so we all know each other's names.
Hi, I'm Jan Hitman, and I've been here 9 years.
Okay.
And this is the first time I've met you.
Okay.
This is nice. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
My name's Elise, and I'm also with Somos, and just learning about the organization, trying to help out in any way I can.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, and I'm Joseph. I have the camera here. So I'm recording all of this. There's also going to be a YouTube video. Right would be posted this so other people can learn about this.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, so just like a little bit about the background of Somos. We are Logan Square. So we got started in 2014. And from the winter of 2013-2014, there were a group of tenants in Logan Square, right on Kedzie and Wrightwood, who got 30-day notices. Everyone in the bottom of the building basically got a 30-day notice saying, you gotta get out of here. So we started organizing. We did many different things, basically. A lot of the tactics we're going to talk today are actually things that came out of that. So we did a picket and protest at the landlord's office. We got the city to come out and force them to improve to respond to code violations and also stop the illegal work that we're doing. They had started eviction proceedings against the tenants, and we used all these different legal tactics in court to basically drag out the eviction process. The end result was that the owner ended up negotiating with the tenants, and they got between 4 and 6 more months to stay in the building, and $2,000 to move, and they also saved the rent that they hadn't been paying at that time. So this is sort of what you were talking about. After that, obviously we started working with a lot of other tenants in a lot of other buildings with conditions issues or people who were being forced to move out, and we started organizing in Logan Square, not so much here yet, but in Logan Square they're building these really expensive, really big buildings. And we're either demanding that they don't build those buildings at all, or if they do build them, that half of those buildings have to be affordable to regular people. So like how many bedrooms is this here?
Only one bedroom.
One bedroom?
And I made my bedroom in the living room.
And how much you paying for it?
$750.
$750. So in these new buildings they're charging $1,500 for a studio. So it'd be like $2,100 for one. It's completely. That's exactly right. Who can afford it? And that's why we're demanding. But that's the thing, right? So if you're a landlord, somebody builds a building next door, charging $2,100, and you're charging your tenant $800 for a one bedroom. You're gonna very quickly evict that person, increase their rent, triple or quadruple what the person pays. So that's kind of what we do. So everything that we're talking about in this meeting is stuff that we've learned from working with other tenants in very similar situations. Do y'all have any questions about like who I am or like what the organization is about or anything like that?
How do we keep in touch in case things start getting kind of hairy around
Yeah,
here?
so my number is, Joseph has my number. He also has our organizational number. My cell phone number is 312-566-8385. And if you want, you can also take Elise's phone number. You can contact them. So, any other questions about us before we get going? If stuff comes up, you can ask it.
Okay.
Alright, so let's just start talking about the issues then. So, let's just list out like every issue that's going on. And then we'll go from there. So, Joseph, you already told me about the issues. But you said, you showed me there's trash in the back. There's
Unattended.
roaches,
Yeah.
there's rats. There's a hole in the bathroom.
Right.
And what unit number is this?
This one's Unit 1, Unit 1, 1610.
Okay.
We stay in apartment one.
Yeah.
What other issues are there?
Okay, we also have the front door of 1610. The mechanism is locks us in, and we get trapped inside. And then also it allows people who don't live here to enter without a key. So we have the
Okay.
place filled up in the hallways with strangers doing drugs, and we don't know what else. Same thing goes for the back too. And
This is front and back door?
the front door locks us in.
Okay.
But the back door is also in the back. We have a back gate that was put up. It got half a sheet of wire, and people just go right, put their hand and open it, and they still get in anyways because they
So
slip
the
the
back
doors.
gate doesn't lock?
Right. Then we got a basement that's abandoned, unattended, full with trash. Rats are making nests there, and there's people who are living down there that we don't even know.
So there's a vacant and unsecure basement.
Right. With the hole in our floor from the washroom, we can look right down and hear their voices.
Okay. We already got the home and bathroom. Right. Big home and bathroom.
The backyard is littered with syringes,
We already got
broken.
that.
Oh, okay. Hypodermic needles. There's
apartment
Okay.
and get things fixed. And there's just some concerns about the back. It being cleaned
What
up.
unit number is yours?
Mine's 1801, second floor.
16.
1608.
1608,
Yeah,
right.
right.
Do you have roaches in your refrigerator also like us?
Once in a while I get them.
Okay. Alright. So those are a lot of issues. Is there anything else before we move on?
There was what else? We haven't there's people that hang around the building that we don't know, and there's all like they're strangers. You know, they're getting access to all this stuff. They're coming around, they're looking, and catch them in the back. These are dangerous ones though.
Okay.
There are no names. The police are called. They can't do nothing to them. They come up with a messed up name. But I mean, we're having a lot of criminal acts.
Landlord, you may place a landlord just verbally talking about it without really getting the job done. What I'm going to talk about now is sort of like 3 different strategies that we can use, and these aren't the only ones. There's a lot of different things we can do to sort of like force the landlord to resolve the issues. I'm realizing now that I didn't. Alright, so what did you say the landlord's names were?
You have Scott Holloway and Paul Calero. Calero.
Alright. So, when we're talking about this stuff, there's sort of like things that we talk about. It's basically what we want is to create a situation not where, like the landlord can come and like take the syringes out of the back if they feel like it, but where the landlord has to do it. Okay? So we talk about like 3 ways that we make someone do something. There's money, there's values, and values is also kind of like, we'll talk about that more in a second. And then there's relationships. So each person does what they do.
José, ¿no vas a venir a hablar con la gente? ¿Y Carla también? Okay, está bien. Okay. All right, bro.
Who's that?
Jose, Carla's
Does he want to
boyfriend.
come? Alright. So there are basically 3 ways to get people to do something. The most obvious is money, right? We all need money to get our lives and stuff. Landlords, relationships. Like, what's a relationship that you care about?
Well, being able to belong to a landlord and have a friendship of some sort, like I could call him, tell him there's a problem, and he'll come over and fix it.
So you want a good relationship with your landlord.
Right.
Why do you want a good relationship with your landlord?
Because things like this will be cleared up, and then we won't have any problems.
What's another relationship that you care about?
I care about my relationship with my neighbors.
Relationship with your neighbors?
I want them to have the same thing I've got, the same recourse.
Okay. This is like relationships that your landlord cares about too.
Right.
And then values is kind of like, it's like what you believe, but it's also how people see you. Do you go to church?
Sometimes when
Sometimes?
I'm off work,
Yeah. Why do you go to church?
because it makes me feel good.
Makes you feel good. And it's important, like it's a value of yours to have that relationship with the church, with God, with your pastor. So the important thing to keep in mind is that the landlords, they have power over what the building looks like. They're making money off of the building, but they're also people. And they have those values too. And when I say that, I don't mean to say the landlord's like a good person and they care. But in the same way that like, you want to have that relationship with other people in the church, you want to have that relationship with your neighbors, you see yourself as a person that is a spiritual person, and you want other people to see you that way as well. The landlord is the same way. The landlord wants to have a good relationship with his neighbors. The landlord wants, these guys, Scott Holloway, Paul Calero, they want people to see them a certain way as well. And that might not be neighbors, that might be the alderman. That might be investors. That might be people who are looking to give them money. So all of these things are interconnected. So everything we're going to talk about as ways of holding the landlord accountable, think about it in ways of like, okay, that's going to impact his money. Okay, that's going to impact relationships that he cares about. So that's going to impact the way he sees himself or the way he wants other people to see him. So what were some of the relationships that you talked about? You said neighbors, right?
Right, neighbors.
What other ones? What other relationships does the landlord care about?
Well, like you said, is alderman.
Alderman. Good. What else? I'll make sure this isn't writing on the wall.
No, it's
The
not.
mayor.
You said the mayor?
The mayor, yeah.
That's good. You also said another one, but it was you. You said you want to have a good relationship with your landlord.
And when things break down and
Yeah.
stuff.
Do you think the landlord wants to have a good relationship with you?
I would hope, but I don't count on it.
But why might you want to?
Okay.
Why might you want to have a good relationship?
Because we're all honest, sincere, good, decent people.
Okay. But why else?
And we have money, and we pay our rent, and we pay our bills and stuff.
Yeah. So, how about you, ma'am? Like, what do you think some of the relationships he cares about are? Or what do you think some of the ways he makes money are?
Tenants.
Tenants?
Tenants, and they try to be real nice,
Mm-hmm. If you wanted to go buy a home, how would you do that? If you wanted to go buy a house, how would you go about buying a house?
Well, I would go and look it over and see what needs to be done.
How would you get the money?
Probably through a mortgage place.
A bank, of course.
Right.
So when a landlord buys a building, he's the same way. So we call that, when you go and you get a mortgage, it's called going to the bank.
yeah,
When they do, it's called investors. But it's the same thing.
it's the same thing.
And we know for Scott Holloway and Paul Calero who their investors are. I've already shown this to Joseph. It's this guy named Paul Davies. We have all of his information already. Paul Davies, 1451. I don't, if you can, maybe you can see this okay. Can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so I think this is probably fine for now. We'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute. Any questions about this? I know this is like a little complicated, but it explains a little bit more what we're going to talk about, like why the stuff we're going to talk about is important. Is there anything else that you want to raise, or any other questions, or any other thoughts, or ideas that you have?
Well, if I had to move, how could I be protected? Especially if I've only gotten like 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to clean something up or fix something up. I mean,
So the idea is that we're going to make him do that in a way that you don't have to move.
oh, okay.
If you want to move, that's okay. Oftentimes, like, when we put pressure on the landlord, he'll have options, right? And you can say, I want you to fix this stuff up, or you don't have to fix this stuff up. But now you have to. You either have to fix it up, or I can move. And if I move, and you don't fix it, then you're saving money, and I want some of that. Does that make sense? Kind of a way.
Oh, I see, like Sylvia for,
Sort of, yeah,
sort of.
yeah,
That put a lien against him.
right. When you're putting pressure on your landlord, you're making him do something. If you stop making him do something, that's worth money to him. Because how much do you think it's going to cost for him to clean up the back, exterminate the mice and the roaches, and clean a hole in your bathroom? How much do you think it would cost?
About 15,
1,500, 15,000? What?
15,000.
15,000? If he doesn't have to do that, or if he only does half of that, isn't it worth it for him to just pay you some of that money to move? So what we're going to talk about moving forward is how to create that pressure through his relationships, through how he's making his money. Cool. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Joseph, do you have any questions? At least do you want to get clarity? So I think to me one of the most powerful and safest, but also longest ways to force the landlord to do something is to interfere with his money. So this isn't necessarily taking money away from him, but it's getting the city to levy fines for code violations. So there's a pretty straightforward process that involves the City of Chicago Building Court and the Alderman. So you all know what code violations are, right?
Yeah, like the seat of the bathroom, letting the building get dilapidated.
Yeah, everything that you talked about is a code violation.
Uh,
So according to that, you can call 311, call the city, and say, I'd like to report a code violation in my building. You'll give them the information, and then you say, I want a reference number, and this is so important. I want a reference number for each complaint. So, and you get a reference number for each individual issue. It's not like you tell them all the issues and you get a reference number. You get a reference number for the hole in the bathroom. You get a reference number for the roaches in the fridge. You get a reference number for the condoms and the syringes in the backyard. You get a reference number for the back gate not closing. You get a reference number for the front door holding you in. So you get individual reference numbers for each of that. And in theory, what's supposed to happen is that the landlord gets an individual suit brought to them by the city for each individual code violation. That doesn't always happen, so we have to make it happen. And the way that we do that, and there are basically three ways of making sure that happens. The most important thing, though, is getting a list. So documenting all of your complaints. Ideally, like how many tenants are involved? It's you.
We have, okay, at 1606, there's 3 units, 3
But how many-
residential units.
How many people?
There's only one, the lady left.
One.
Doña Carmen on unit 1 is 1606, and then the business tenants, the Dominicans down on the business unit.
So we should talk
Six-
to them too.
I did, but they're not gonna,
They're not interested.
because they're afraid, because they're being watched by the police, like I told you, because Paul and this guy had them watched.
That's fine. We can talk about it
Right.
at the next.
Right.
at the
Okay,
next
okay.
meeting. But basically, you can get a reference number for each individual issue. Once you have that list of reference numbers, you can bring them to the alderman. And that's not because we're expecting the alderman to be the nice guy who cares. That's because if the alderman doesn't follow up on it, then you can do a press conference at the building. And media love to see it. The media loves to come out. And like Movie CEO covered a lot of our actions. And you might have even seen, have you seen before, when you're watching the news, like them talking about it? When have you seen that before?
But the news,
Yeah. What do you remember any specifics about it?
no.
Oh, okay. But you've seen it before.
Yes.
So we can do the same thing. We've done that like numerous times. You know Mariano Gielis, the newscaster? No. Okay, that's fine. He's covered. He works for the news. So
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's a way of putting pressure on the city. We had an incident once where the heat kept turning off in the winter at this building. You know, we kept calling through, wanting to make complaints. The alderman knew about it, wasn't doing anything. But we called NBC, and they came out with like a news camera and covered the story. And like I think later that day, it was turn back on. If I call 311 and I say, you know, Janet in unit 1608, unit 2 or whatever it is, wants to make a complaint, they'll be like, why are you calling for her? We can't take a complaint from you. They'll say, where do you live?
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I really think? I'm gonna tell you something. I called 311. I recorded what they said and everything. They were supposed to send somebody and all that, and they said okay, but I never got no reference numbers, and neither from this guy. I really don't think, personally, that neither 311, calling 311, or even calling Maldonado is gonna work because
We want to get what's specific?
we're on the rent strike. She's on the rent strike.
I
We're-
just wanna move.
Right. We're trying to save the money up so that we can move. But in the meantime, I'm also going to try to use the tactic that you had mentioned about making what you call it with these people, because really what I want all the money back. This is what I want. Not that I'm going to get it, but my request is going to be that I want all the money that we paid them from the beginning when he took over this place until now, and deposit back for us to move immediately. Or I'm going to stay here. There's a rent strike. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing with the videos. I'm going to all the stuff. You understand? I want to force them to do that because we're sick. My aunt's real sick, and I know everybody else too. And if I force him, and if he goes for that, then I will put him on camera, and then I make him do it for the rest of the people who actually want to move. You understand?
Yeah.
Because actually he is afraid of publicity, Scott. Really, really tremendously. So that's what I want to do. What do you think about that, Noah?
Okay, well, but like, what specifically? So you're gonna go on this rent strike, you're not gonna pay rent,
There's no rent. We're not paying no rent.
and it's just you.
It's me. Well, it's us in this unit, right?
Yeah.
So far. Matilda, I don't know because I haven't seen her. I don't know if he got to her, but I know they were communicating and talking. I don't know, you know. So, but all I know is that we're gonna do it.
Okay. And that's all you're gonna do?
No. That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna be working. I want to work with the organization and do whatever I have to do to go down there. But you know what? To be honest with you, also, yeah. But I'm also writing. See, because I'm writing an article for the People's Tribune for Andy about this situation here. I already wrote it up right here. I just had to finish to see what was gonna happen today, and then with the pictures and everything, my videos and whatever I can do, I do it. You know, but you guys are the ones that know the information. I'm only guessing, you know, and figuring out what it is. But I know it's to attack him in the money, because it's just the love of money for him is kind of really, really deep rooted in him, and that's where I know I can hurt him.
So it's 6:30. We should probably wrap up. What do you want to do next as a next step?
Janice?
Yes.
Do you want to have another meeting? Do you want to try and put more?
I think.
meeting?
Right.
We could probably have another meeting.
What do you want to do, Maggie? What do you want to do? Well, I think.
Janice wants to
Right.
go
Well,
on.
right.
Or what I think after hearing what you all want to do and you're planning on moving out, so but you also want to attack and like at the same you want to move out, but at the same time you want to like hurt his like values and his money and all these things. So how I see it and listening to the different options that Noah was saying.
Well, I like to stay. That's what I like to
And
do.
you want to stay.
I like to work out
Yeah.
something that's workable
Definitely.
for everybody.
Oh, no. You work out what's for you, hon.
All right.
That's what it is. You want to stay. We're not staying, but and I encourage you to stay then. Stay
Yes.
here, right?
It is,
So-
I wanted to fix this stuff
Okay,
out.
great.
If
At
we
least,
can't,
what was
then-
it?
Then we have to move.
Yeah.
Elise?
So one person wants to stay, these people want to move, but everybody wants to get things fixed in the house. So I see for Janet doing the complaint calls to the city, calling 311, getting the reference numbers, and using the documentation that you have if you're willing to help her.
I will help her on that.
So that's like steps that maybe we have like something. There's steps written there, but if you need more detail, we can like tell you how to do that better. And then with
Do
the
you want to be in contact?
Yes, just in case I do fail on my CJ.
Okay.
I want someone like her, or someone that could help me maybe move or get another Section 8.
So we got to be super clear.
Yeah.
Like, we are not a social service agency.
Right, okay,
We're a group of volunteers that can help people enforce their rights.
okay, okay.
Janice, don't worry about the move. Believe me. As long as I'm alive and I got and I can get up off my bed, I'm gonna help you.
Okay,
All right, hon?
So
Okay.
since you're trying to stay, I would suggest doing the first option Noah said, which is calling the city, and we can work. I'm willing to help work on that, and also he has documentation of the problem. So we would get the reference numbers and just how Noah was saying, the tactic of calling the city and trying to demand that they hold the landlords accountable.
yeah,
The first step, no matter what, is documenting the issues.
okay,
That's what I'm gonna
Just
do.
getting your ducks in a row.
okay,
Once you have that, sometimes I've seen this happen too. Sometimes call a landlord, they just keep hanging up on you. If you put something in writing, and this is something that any of us can help you with. Do you have an email address?
yes, I do.
Boom, easy. You can send the landlord an email, you can CC our organizational email, or you can send him alone saying, here are photos of the issues in my apartment.
Who's Malone?
What?
Malone, you said?
I just probably mumbled.
Ah!
But sometimes just putting something in writing is enough to get the landlord moving.
Okay.
But the first step, no matter what, is documenting your issues.
Okay, great. If you
Na-
can help me with that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna document it, and then she's gonna help you with the reference number. I have no patience with 311.
Yeah, what else were you saying? Elise?
And then I think for Joey, right?
Joey.
Joey, I would say, since you're doing the rent check already, I would suggest filling this out just because you can, and then it's in your right to do a rent strike.
Okay.
And we can also help you with that, I'm sure. And then since you're ready doing a rent strike, so yeah, I would fill that out, and then so you're protesting the house, so you wanted to do that. And that's probably all on your end. I don't know.
Right.
We can send a few people down.
Yeah, we could definitely.
We're down to over. Oh yeah, I want you guys to come with me. I got a car. If you guys want, I'll pick you up wherever you're at. Listen, I'm dedicated. I've been on the streets doing politics too. They show me that stuff. I ain't been knowing about talking to people since I was a little kid, 6 or 7, going door to door. In my own neighborhood in West Town, when it was all Polish people, I was raised with the Polish people, right? Did you imagine? So,
Keep going.
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
You have to put the battle up
Yeah.
because they're going to fold. See, the things they're doing it. It's not hidden from people. It's just hidden from the regular people that really care about it. The people that know about it, the politicians, they know all about that. They're all involved with them. I know because I've seen it. They tried to frame me yesterday and get me locked up. Could you imagine if there was nobody there and they called the police and the police came and they said that I attacked my walked in without permission? What would happen to me?
Yeah.
You would have seen me in some time on the news last night. All right? That's what they try to do. That's how dirty Maldonado is. And I'm saying it right here because Maldonado, you're going to see this video. This video here is to show everybody who sees it, all tenants, I don't care where you are, in Chicago, right here, Humboldt Park, Logan Square, wherever, that we have rights. Don't believe what the landlord tells you because the landlords these are not landlords. Landlords want you to stay there and fix your place. These are people that want you out. They don't want you there, so they're going to use everything. And they're afraid of people like Elise here and my man right here, Noah, because why? Because they're standing on the truth. Once we get them into whatever position we turn it around on them, they got to fold because they're standing on the line.
Yeah.
And whenever they do, every time they say something, open their mouth, it's gonna get more entangled and more entangled because I got this guy